You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible.
I'm looking at all of these people who are trashing Senator Kamala Harris. She's not African American. She's not from here. That was a black woman. Kamala Harris is a black woman. Shirley Chisholm, her dad, born in British Guyana, mama in Barbados. Harris, daddy in Jamaica, mama from India. What I find to be very interesting is that our deceased people, you can't compare Harris to Chisholm. Well, Chisholm was only in Congress 3 years before she announced she ran for president. Harris was in Congress, in the Senate, for 2 years before she ran for president of the United States. So of all these people, are they judging Shirley Chisholm on those 3 years, or are they judging her on the years after she ran for president? See, that to me is what I find interesting when you really start debating these people. And they start, like, I got somebody sitting here going, oh, she got a black woman. So are we now saying that, oh, well, because Kamala Harris, mama is Indian, well then, oh my goodness, she's not black, but Obama's mama was white, and oh my goodness, but he's not black. The people who are engaged in this, Julian, are stuck on stupid. And the reality is we got Biden, Harris, Trump, Pence. This real simple. Which one of these y'all want, fools? Which one y'all want? It's going to be Biden, Harris, or Trump, Pence.
You know, Roland, Reverend William Barber has a concept he calls a blood test, where he says that you have to take a blood test to see who is closer to you in terms of ideology and philosophy. So he tells it in a kind of a gross way. He says, lady has a baby, and if you take a blood test and it's 15% match, that ain't his baby. But if it's an 80% match, that's his baby. That's your kinfolk. Kamala Harris is our kinfolk. We don't agree with her on everything. But this is such an astounding nomination, astounding opportunity. And all these haterators, that's not a word, but all these haterators, they just go sit down. Would you rather have Trump, Pence? Do you know that 100 environmental regulations have been turned back because of Trump, Pence? That labor regulations have been turned back because of Trump, Pence? Do you know that Kamala Harris has, as Joe Biden said, been a fighter for the little people? No, she's not perfect, but who is? I think that people are holding her to a ridiculously high standard, and I'm not sure why. But I love that you played the Shirley Chisholm clip because it reminds us, absolutely reminds us, first of all, of the audacity of black women, the capacity of black women, and the fact that Kamala Harris stands on a long line of black women who have been politically engaged.
See, again, I just want to sit here and break this thing down, Robert. I just want to really break this thing down because I'm all about, over the next 82 days, exposing as much white stupidity as I am black stupidity. And so when I listen to the people, I listen to all this stuff, and again, I hear the critics, and they throwing all kind of stuff out. Oh my goodness, and she ain't this, and she hate black people, and all this sort of stuff. All I want to know is what you got. And not only that, what are you really saying? Because if y'all want to have this whole, well, we don't know, you ain't really from here, why don't these fake conscious ass people stop holding up Stokely Carmichael? Who wasn't from here?
Come on.
Parents weren't from here. See, that's my deal, Robert. Because if we really want to go there, it's a whole bunch of black people in American history who contributed mightily to what's happening with black people and African Americans who are immigrants or the children of immigrants. See, if they really want to go there, let's go.
Well, Roland, as the son of an immigrant myself, I think that the purity test
hold on, Julian, Robert.
As the child of immigrant from Haiti and myself, I think the black purity test is a quick sonic journey, is a self-eating issue. But I do think that what Democrats do have to do, Vice President Biden and Senator Harris, over the next 80 days, is address all issues. Because let's understand, there are no bad issues in politics. That if you want these people to vote, then you have to prove through policy that it does not matter what my parentage is. What matters is what I'm going to do for the African American community, what I'm going to do for the descendants of slavery, what my plan is and what my policy is going to be to improve the lives of African American men in this country. We want somebody just based on being pure black, diamond and silk. Or black and from the South. But I don't think anybody wants them to be the Democratic nominee for vice president. But what has to happen is there is an enthusiasm gap in this race. There are questions that were not answered during the primary, the same way that works to their benefit and not being able to define the candidates. There's also a detriment to it because there are people who do not know where both these candidates stand on important issues in the African American community. That is the duty of the candidate who is trying to get those votes to prove and to explain to the American people what exactly they stand for, because all that happens if you call names, if you say they're stupid, this, that, and the other, you're just driving down turnout. That we're going to need all hands on deck in order to win this election. Do not believe the polls. The polls are not going to track the people who are dipping in and out of politics and only vote in presidential election years. And every point that we dip below what the turnout numbers were for Obama in 2012 is another 2 points for Trump, because his base is going to turn out. So we can't just dismiss offhand criticisms. We have to be able to address them, and the candidates are going to have to put some work and put some money in to addressing these issues. Send somebody on your show. Buy ad time on black media. Make sure that you are pushing your agenda so that the people who need to hear it, hear it.
Here's what I find just to be interesting here, Scott. I got some fool sending me on Twitter. He said Stokely wasn't a cop. All right, let's just go ahead and take that one for what it is. So what are we saying? Marilyn Mosby can never run for higher office? What are we saying? Kim Foxx can never run for higher office? What are we saying? Aramis Ayala can never run for higher office? So we saying that Larry Krasner, who's not black, who's white, who's a DA in Philadelphia, oh my goodness, he should never aspire to higher office? Or we say, see, that's how stupid this whole argument is. And not only that, here's the other deal. For all y'all stuck on stupid people, do you know who the most, do you know, if you tabulated across the country, what position that has the most black people elected to statewide office is? Do y'all know what that is, stuck on stupid people? Attorney General. Black man's Attorney General in Illinois. Black man who's the Attorney General in Indiana. Black man who's the Attorney General in Nevada. Black man who's the Attorney General in Kentucky. So now what we really saying is we already know it's hard, Scott, to win statewide office, but if you run for Attorney General or DA, well, we're just going to disqualify you for forever anything else because you were the top cop. Scott, go ahead.
Yeah, this is a stupid argument I hear my brothers and sisters making. It's an uninformed argument. The people you're talking about are the people talking out the side of their neck. They haven't done any research. They don't know their history. They get their history every day from you, Roland. But let me tell you something. As a former prosecutor from New York City, all right? Those same people talking and the people listening who feel like you don't want any black prosecutors running for office.
Stop. Hold up, Scott. Stop. Since you were a former prosecutor, you got to get off the show because you're not black. Your blackness has been. You got to turn your black card in. You were a former prosecutor. You got to go. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No, listen to me. All those people who are stuck on stupid, you listen to me. You better be glad you got some black people in the prosecutor's office, whether they're the AG whether they're district attorney or county attorney, because it would be 10 times worse for you and your family and your friends from the community if I wasn't there, if Kamala wasn't there, if Tim wasn't there. Trust me, my policy as a prosecutor was to give programs to those who were drug addicted. You sold drugs near school, now you going, and you had multiple arrests, right? But my job was not just to prosecute you and put you in jail. My job was to try to rehabilitate you and get you services that you needed so I wouldn't see you again. So all y'all stuck on stupid, you can talk about the man. We need more black people in those positions because they're more liable, they're more likely to give you discretion and services and support than to go hard line and put you in jail. That's not going to help you or your family or your friends at all. Secondly, let's just say this.
Go ahead.
Kamala Harris is a black woman, right? Take Trump and Pence out of it. As a member of the AKs, I've known Kamala for 35 years. This sister identifies with black people. She's an AKA. She went to Howard. I don't care where she's from. Black people from the diaspora are black people. What is all of a sudden black people, African Americans, want to carve out who's black and who's not? We are a country of immigrants. We're all from somewhere else. And you're running against two people like Trump and Pence, and you want to go against her. Well, who are you going to vote for? Or you're not going to vote? You're going to get Trump and Pence again. So stop this nonsense. It's stupid. Get off stupid.
And here's the deal. This is real simple for me, Julian. If you don't want to support Senator Kamala Harris, that's fine. Okay? Just say, Julian, you're talking. Julian, you're talking. Hold on, Julian. Let me finish the question. No, Scott, it is fine. Let me be real clear. It is fine. I don't care who you support. Here's my whole point, though. What we're not about to do is get into this next dumbass discussion about blackness. Because, see, I got black parents. Yeah. But you know what somebody going to say? Oh, your mama light-skinned, so you ain't really black. So if both your parents blacker than Barry,
you got good hair too,
if both of your parents black, right? It's like, oh, you real black, okay? So I guess since that's now the whole deal, Julian, since you the lightest person on the panel, and probably you the lightest person on the panel, and probably the blackest person on the panel, you disqualified because if you look at some of these fools out here and the standard that they have set up, this is how they have laid this whole thing out, and this is why it's foolish. It's foolish, Julian, because it has nothing to do with housing. It has nothing to do with black businesses. It has nothing to do with education. It has nothing to do with mass incarceration. It has nothing to do with any of the issues out there, how we affected. But you got these folk who frankly sound like white supremacists who are sitting there saying, no, she not really black. She not black. No, she not black because I don't like her hair. And no, she got that Indian hair. And it's just dumb. It's just dumb, Julianne.
Got that good hair.
About this, they did this with President Obama, and it was black people who did it. Something is wrong with us because I show you pictures. I think some of y'all know my family. Unfortunately, I picked the light skin card, but everybody else ain't. And it has nothing to do with nothing. As you said, the structure of the economy in this country and the people who are left out and left behind, the fact that we lost black home ownership, the fact that we have, I call it the chucklehead in chief, who does not want to extend people's unemployment benefits. Those are the issues we need to be focusing on. I don't understand what this backlash on Senator Harris is. I do not understand it, but it makes no sense. And she is, frankly, the best thing that has happened to the Democratic Party and happened to Joe Biden. Now, Robert has a point, and I agree with him. We don't take them and say, okay, because they're Democrat, everything is cool. We do have to raise and ask questions. But here's what we do know. Whatever they are, they're better than Trump and Pence. So the issue is to get them elected and then keep the heat up. Voting, folks, is not the most you can do. It is the least that you can do. And so you vote, and then you keep the heat up. That's how it goes. So all these conversations are specious. This woman went to Howard University. I hate to say she made one mistake in her life, but she's an AKA, not a Delta. We'll accept that. But in any case, she's amazing.
You can get over that, Julianne.
I'm over it. I will fight for her as hard as I'd fight for, a DST or anybody else. I will fight for her and Biden. This is an amazing move, and we just have to accept it for what it is.
But Roland, I do think that.
Okay, wait. Hold on. Robert, I do got to play this. I want to play this sound right here, which I find to be utterly hilarious. And so let me just go ahead and play this, y'all. I got to get y'all a response.
Secondly, I just question whether or not this is going to boost African-American turnout at all. I don't think it will. She's just not that historically exciting to African-Americans. She certainly wasn't during the primary, and that was one of the biggest reasons Biden picked her. He needs that boost in African-American turnout in order to win. I don't see it. Secondly, I just question whether or not this is going to boost African-American turnout at all. I don't think it will. She's just hilarious. Secondly, I just question whether or not this is going to boost African-American turnout at all. I don't think it will. She's just not that historically exciting to African-Americans. She certainly wasn't during the primary, and that was one of the biggest reasons Biden picked her. He needs that boost in African-American turnout in order to win. I don't see.
So my man Ari Fleischer, so they can sit here, they can sit here, Robert. Ari Fleischer can be an expert on what black people thinking, but they can't find them WMDs.
Look, soul brother number one, Ari Fleischer, he's making these points because they're trying to sow seeds of dissent within the community. We've seen this on conservative social media since the announcement was made. But we cannot ignore offhand the criticisms of people, and we can't. When we laugh at them, when we joke about the concerns of the ADOS, or we call them the ADOS movement, the foundational black people, HOTEPs, whatever you want to call them. Those are Democratic voters, and if they have doubts, if they have questions, we need to be able to roll out an agenda item. We need to roll out policy items. You can't just dismiss them offhand, because what we saw in 2016 was there were.
Robert, I'm going to disagree. I'm not assuming they're voters. I'm not assuming they're voters, because I've engaged with a lot of these people. But what I'm saying is I've engaged with a lot of them, and a lot of them are so out there. That you can't tell them anything, and when you try to present facts, they're like, oh, no, that's not true. And so, yes, I agree we have to engage, but some people are so crazy with it, you're like, I can't waste time with you. Go ahead.
Roland, with no facts to support it. With no facts to support it.
Wait. Oh, Julian, wait. Robert, finish your point, then I'm going to go to Scott, then Julian.
But to your point about them being so far out there, the way that Donald Trump won that primary, won the presidency, he went and got those voters who were so far out there, the Pizzagate voters, the QAnon voters, the conspiracy theory Alex Jones voters, and he took them out of the internet chat rooms and got them into the ballot box. So I don't think that we're in a position right now as a nation to take any one single voter for granted. Donald Trump won by 77,000 votes across the upper Midwest last time. So if there's a possibility of turning you into a voter with the right policy position, then you need to explore that before dismissing it offhand.
But Robert, your focus is a fair one. But the most appropriate focus is that black voters and Democrats didn't vote in their normal voting pattern. And so it's one thing to say he wouldn't got them out. They're still fringe voters, but our focus has to be to get Democratic voters out. They'll be excited about this ticket. And then we win by more than 77 votes in Wisconsin and Michigan and Pennsylvania. That made the difference. We can't control Trump's voters. He got them out, but we didn't do our job. And this time in 2020, we got to do our job. I don't care about polling. You're right. I want to break voting records for black people, whether it's mail-in or in person. And I got to tell you that black people are going to be highly motivated, independents, educated whites, those suburban moms, and those elderly voters out of Florida whose support Trump is losing on a daily basis. He's got 83 days to turn that around. He's not turning it around. And Biden, Harris, whatever October surprise may be coming our way, The October surprise might be on Donald Trump this time and not on the Democrat.
You know, folks who are watching
final
this
comment
program
before I go to my
need to
next
do
topic.
this. Number one, you need to know what your rules are about voting in your jurisdiction. You need to make sure that you request a ballot if your jurisdiction requires you to request a ballot. When you get your ballot, you need to put it in the mail immediately. Don't wait until the last minute. That's what we need to do. Robert mentioned those ADOS people. Those people are crazy fringe. Let's just call it crazy fringe. They don't want to vote unless they get reparations tomorrow. And they're not going to get reparations tomorrow. So next, you know, there are other folks who aren't going to vote unless...
Wait a minute. And Julianne, hold on, Julianne. And this is a woman who sits on in Cobra's group who's been advocating reparations. You.
Yes. Yes, I'm on the National African American Reparations Commission, but I do not agree with the people who say we must have it now, and if we don't have it, we're not going to vote. That's stupid. What we have right now with reparations is Sheila Jackson Lee has H.R. 40. She has almost 200 co-sponsors. It's very likely that it will pass, and the things that we want we'll get. We have been working really hard with her. And these folks who say, well, I won't vote unless I have reparations, you know, basically you're basically putting a knife in the back of the movement. But you have folks who truly, truly believe that the system is flawed. Yes, it's flawed, but guess what? It's the system we have. And I will tell you, maybe 40 years ago, when I was a youngin' and crazy, I would have said some of the same things. The system is flawed. But I went to my first Democratic convention in 1972. Couldn't even vote then. Went just to see Shirley Chisholm. And so, you know, this system doesn't work perfectly, but it works. And these folks who have all these, you know, litmus tests, one issue test, voters, they're crazy.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially of Roland Martin Unfiltered. I mean, hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you have that you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it, please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.
Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.